Welcome to the How Aston Villa Won podcast, where we relive the glory years of Aston Villa. Well, anyway, hello, that'll do. Hello, welcome back to the How Aston Villa Won podcast.
I'm delighted to be here, Martin. I mean, I'm enjoying your hospitality. I'm enjoying this amazing setup you've got here, which is...
Thank you.
What is it? Is there a name for this place? Just the shed?
Well,
the outbuilding?
my wife did buy me a pub sign to go up outside.
That's the green light, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
That's
going to be called... the joking name is the Horse and Jockey.
Yeah.
I joke that I'm the horse, the wife is the jockey.
Right, okay.
I think she's run with that.
Is she okay with that? She's not...
I'm mad for it.
Cool. She good.
Yeah.
Mate, this is the dream. This is,
isn't it?
This is the dream.
Yeah.
Obviously, this is a listening thing, isn't it? So you can't really see what we've got
audio
here.
descriptions.
We've got a fridge, at least 3 of them.
I mean, they have specific uses. There's a wine fridge,
Yeah.
a fridge for cans, lovely cans.
Oh my god!
A solid little fridge, and then the beer pump itself.
A live beer pump, which I've disgraced myself. But then again, I've never worked in a bar. I'm just going to say,
if you go to Instagram or Twitter, if you're not already following us, please do. How Aston Villa One Pod or How AV One Pod. And there is a picture of the 2 pints we first poured, and you can guess whose is whose. You can see who's the expert swordsman, who's handled himself.
Let's get on with the pod, shall we, Martin? Yeah, nice.
Okay, yeah. Don't mean to drag you down. You brought it up.
I tried.
Yeah.
But anyway.
So we are back in the pub, and we are back to our league season. When we left off, we were 6th, but we're only 4 places behind Ipswich, who are in top position at the moment. And we find ourselves now having another cup game. It's the League Cup 3rd round, and we're playing against Cambridge United away
I
at the
love
Abbey
a good
Stadium.
cup run, Martin. I love a good cup
Yeah.
run.
Well-
I mean, this is why, as Villa fans, when I first started on the Villa, I would say that the cup games were far more important than the league games because there was no jeopardy. You knew Villa would be mid-table, thereabouts, not really danger of going down.
Yeah.
Every now and again we'd charge for European place, but normally our European place would be assured because we'd be in finals and we'd be winning Coca-Cola Cups and so on. And that's...
we go through spates, so 94, 96. You know, there's a bit of a run. 75, 77, couple of League Cups. We tend to have a team that can do it, and then it breaks apart, falls apart. This is kind of more that. Sorry to burst your bubble. Af doesn't know all the scores, you see. You might know the games we're playing, doesn't necessarily know the scores. So we went to Cambridge, who were in the 2nd tier at the time, on Tuesday the 23rd of September, with an attendance of 23,622, which actually rivals some of the attendances at Villa Park. I know.
It just shows how big we are, that. I mean...
But we're the draw.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe.
Absolutely.
But we
If they come to town,
but
they all
Villa
get out
Park,
there at the universities and they put down their mortar boards and they go, Aston Villa in town. Rah, rah, rah. Let's go check out some good top-rate soccer.
I bet it's things like this that got Prince William supporting the Villa.
That could be why. That could be why.
I mean,
Anyway,
could be
you're going to tell me now about a resounding 3-0 win at me.
Sort of. Not so much. We had a team which is pretty typical. Rimmer, Swain, Evans, McNaught, Gibson, Bremner, Cowans, Mortimer, Morley, with and Geddes up top, keeping his place in the previous game after scoring against Wolves. In the 6th minute, Tony Morley gets a goal.
Scenes.
2 minutes later...
No footage of it, so I'm going to say 30-yarder. No?
Okay, why not?
Yeah, let's say that.
Yeah. 1-1 after 8 minutes, so 2 minutes later, from Finney. Let's say that's scrappy then.
Yeah, I mean...
Makes us feel better.
Yeah, it does.
He just knocks into somebody, the ball sort of falls, and he toe pokes it.
Yeah, and also, I mean, away, in all seriousness, away League Cup games, lower division, lower opposition. I mean, I've been to a fair few. Swindon Town comes to mind. I know we won that game, but it was. There's no winners. It's just about getting through the game. You just got to get the result, get through it, and by the sounds of it, unfortunately, we'd nearly do that. One thing is interesting though, the team, like compared to how League Cup's treated nowadays with lots of rotation, lots of youth players that need minutes. That's a first choice team. But that is maybe Geddes.
Well, yeah, but again, he'd come in a league game and scored, so that's on form. What I'd say is that makes more sense if you're looking to compete. Then you do it and you want to keep a winning team, winning formula. But And also, they had a bit of a bumpy patch, hadn't they? A couple of draws and losses. So you're trying to get back into winning ways. You're thinking, go to lower league opposition, strong team. And I think that's what the players thought. Just to round it off, by the way, they scored in the 18th minute then as well. 10 minutes later, Spriggs scoring a goal, meaning it was 2-1, and that's how it stayed until the end. So it was like one of those. I was going to say to you, what's the worst loss to a lower league team? I keep thinking about Bradford. You know, Bradford were really tough those couple of years. Wasn't it twice they're out?
So, yeah, that game gives me nightmares because I remember it was my first year of teaching. That was so. I think there was even what we call CPD, so that the hours meeting which is just meaningless. You just teach you how to do like things that
unless the person who led your training is listening, in which case it was very informative.
Absolutely, 100%,
and helped make you teach you are today.
How to teach children stuff. Yeah. Anyway, I was allowed to. Well, eventually we're allowed to leave at about. It was 4:30, so I had a mad dash up the motorway to get to Bradford.
Yeah.
And I'm then treated with that, which I still to this day, I've not watched it back.
Why would you?
But in the ground at the time, I was convinced that we played quite well.
Yeah.
Genuinely, we could and should have probably been 3-4-0 up. The problem was we weren't. And so what was it? I think it won 1-0, 2-0. I think we went 2-1 with Vyman, and I'm thinking, right, that sound 2-1 loss, get out of here. Or 1-0 win at Villa Park against. I think they were League 2 because they kept on saying League 2 on the PA, and it was really annoying. Get back on the motorway, get back to Villa Park, and then I think they scored at the end as well. I can't even remember what the goals were like, but that's got to be the most grating because that's the semi as well.
Yeah,
that was the semi-final.
We're getting self trouble, and because obviously we had some bit of success.
Around
that point, we talked about it earlier. Didn't we? The League Cup final of 2010, Carling Cup as it was, having had FA Cup 2015.
Yeah,
against Liverpool.
2015.
Semi, and, those kind of runs, and you think could have been another one.
And those runs are with one of the worst teams we've had, which makes it absolutely mad.
But against those lads who wanted the result, wanted something, thinking, right, okay, we're solidly mid-table. We know we're not going to go much further. This is somewhere we can make a dent. This is somewhere we can make an impression. Which is why it's such a shame that Villa as a team haven't, striven to do more with that, haven't strived. But that said, nowadays those top teams, let's call them for now, they have such a squad depth.
Yeah,
they go to compete on all fronts that it makes it difficult.
It's by default though, isn't it? Because how good their squads are. You've got Man City that could probably put out at least 2.5, maybe even 3 teams, maybe 3 teams of 11 players, and they would all be competitive in the Premier League.
Just jump in on that one again. I'm just referencing what's going on in the Villa at the moment. Just to break it up now. Sorry. Is it Cucurella? Is that his name?
Kind of Chukwuemeka.
No.
The Brighton
fullback. Sorry, you mentioned Man City.
Yeah, we are.
And Chelsea have jumped in and stole him.
Yes.
They're going to give Brighton the money. I think basically they haven't spent much. They're struggling to get deals done, so they're going to steal him. That takes away from Man City, and it means they strengthen up because they lost. Who they lost? That was Azpilicueta. Christensen went to Barca, didn't he? Things like this. So they're going to shore up their back line with Cucurella. They're getting Chukwuemeka. I might as well talk about it now then. I think again that's because they're struggling to sign players from elsewhere. People like Barcelona, even with no money, with their name, have gotten in before Chelsea. Chelsea, with their new ownership, are struggling to make those inroads. And that now we're at a point where they're going, right, okay, that young lad was impressive in the championships, that Chukwuemeka. We'll take a chance on him. 20 mil, what's that for a kid? We can always sell him on. Cucurella, we know he's a proven player. We can bring him in, train him up. There's a lot of flux going on there at Chelsea. I don't know what's going on, but
I think our friend of the pod, Dan Bardell.
Is he?
Well, possibly.
If we assume, I'll be friends with him.
He DM'd me once. So
did he? That's cute.
He once. But I think he summed it up. His tweet today, I think, summed it up perfectly. We're between a rock and a hard place with our Chucky.
Yeah.
Because you either play him, showcase his talents, in which case more and more clubs get interested, more and more people get in his ear, and then he's more reluctant to sign anything, and then eventually he'll sign a pre-contract agreement in January and then leave in the summer, which I think is the case on a free. You sell him now, obviously his talent, having seen him quite regularly in the Youth Cup and various under 21 games, his talent dictates that he will be in most of the teams pushing for first team football. And to be fair to the kid, when he gets the chance, for Villa anyway, he's been a bit underwhelming.
Yeah.
But, you know, he's still a kid. He's still a kid. There's enough talent there.
He is, but again, I mean, it's not fair to compare to these generational talents, as people call them. Rooney was 16.
Yes.
Was there breaking to Everton,
Yeah.
performing, then got signed for Man U. It's
Yeah.
not the same thing.
Yeah.
Chelsea are taking the chance. Like Chelsea bought a lot of young English lads when they first got a bit of money.
Yeah.
Joe Cole, Ashley Cole. Who else they get? Frank Lampard. They bought
Yeah.
a load of these lads.
All
Not
these
all of them
people.
came good.
I think Lampard might have
Bridge,
been four. But
Wayne
yeah,
Bridge, you know, all these kind of
all
people.
these
Some of them
players.
made, some didn't. But they had a big squad, like Chelsea. Then Man City emulated when they created their City Group's model. And so I think now Chukwuemeka has got talent. He has got a chance. But rather than stay, prove himself, and earn up, he hasn't got any loyalty to Villa. They plucked him from Northampton. wherever it was.
Yeah.
Right, okay. Here's a showcase. He's like, yep. I've been told I'm a generational talent. I've been told I'm going to be this, that, and the other. Prove it now. Give me the money. Give me the games. We're saying no. We've bled you into the team. You've had some performances. They've been okay. Keep working. And what we're doing is we're refusing to budge because so much of what we do is also about character. And what he's doing is showing his character, or certainly the amount he's letting his team influence him and his choices. So therefore, letting him go is the wise option for us. We'll take 20 million for a lad who's made a few appearances. That's fine. We'll put that towards getting someone else in, more experienced in midfield, who can make an impact now.
It's as good as we could do in the circumstances.
I think so.
And I think, well, and at that time, a mate of mine from uni, I say mate of mine, I've not spoken to him for 10 years, but I was speaking to him on Twitter because he's actually a coach at Northampton in the youth setup, or was. He's now gone to Leicester in their massive Death Star training complex that was funded by Harry Maguire. And he was saying of all the talents he's coached, Chucky's he's well up there. He's one of the best he's got. That's the frustrating part. The fact that he's had a few appearances at Villa Park. He's not scored a goal, a first team goal anyway.
Yeah.
And that's as a fan, that's the annoying thing. He got an assist at Norwich. I remember that. And you're thinking, right, go on, kick on now. But this contract situation been lingering all the time, and unfortunately with Chelsea, it just seems that their ownership model right now, you've got an owner who's just come in and is just fronting because the whole club's a bit of a mess in terms of you got all backroom staff that are now no longer there, the really important admin side of things, and so he's doing everything, and obviously he wants to win fans on side as well. I've forgotten his name as well, though, is it?
No, I don't know.
And so by doing these sort of quick, easy wins, if 20 million is the price, it's a large price, but for someone like him, it's an easy win. It's one for the future.
Yeah.
Keep the fans on side as well. But
if
it'd be
you're-
so interesting to see how they do this year. 'Cause I'm not convinced by them.
No, I think, and Tuchel basically said it the other day, which is interesting because that's going to, feed into the players' mentalities as well. But if you're a Chelsea fan right now, you've had more impressive windows, you've had more impressive teams. You've got to see it as, look, the Abramovich thing is what it is. It's a big, world political situation. We've done very well from him for a long time. Got the European Cup in the end, got the Champions League. We've had numerous Premier League wins, whatever else. Great nights out. We'll take it. Thank you very much. Right, these lads have got money as well. It's hard to come in and take over. They haven't helped themselves by getting rid of a lot of those backroom staff, as you mentioned. But here you got one of the best talents of the future for England being signed.
Yeah.
You're nicking a left back from under the nose of Man City they clearly wanted. So
Great hair as well.
Great hair, sideshow Bob.
Yeah.
So you get all these little wins in that sense, like you said. That actually, it's like fans will go, right, okay, quieter summer, and we just fallow for a year, and we push on again. Maybe January we get someone, or next year a big summer. You can't always be that big guy. Man City haven't done much business. Okay, they got Haaland nice and early. They've sold a few. Alvarez as well early.
Yeah, really like it.
Yeah,
really like it.
Yeah.
We were linked with him for ages, so I did a fair bit of.
And I think again, a lot of these things, it's time, it's the little circumstances. But hey, we've digressed enough.
We've digressed. Let's get back to familiar territory.
Yeah.
A standard League Cup loss to lower opposition. Everyone's
which is
happy.
pretty classic. So thank you to those who only come for the retroness and are bored of talking about the modern stuff about like every other podcast. So there's a bit of a quote here. As I say, if you go to YouTube, if you follow Villa Boy, he has lots of footage of the Villa down the years, including the season reviews, which is where most of this footage comes from the 1980-1981 season. And there's a bit of a chat with Morley there, but very similarly, in Ticket to the Moon, the book that you all know, I read and take information from, written by Richard Sydenham. There's a quote here from Cohen's, I've sort of paraphrased a bit here. Subconsciously, we probably felt it would be easy, but it was a kick up the A. We need to kick on and start winning games. So I think it's easy done. I think they're on a mission. Saunders clearly felt they could go somewhere and do something. Cohen's like, well, look, we had a few good results. We knew we had a decent team. We can go down there and do the business. And they're just, as Morley says in the video, if you watch it, they just weren't at the races. They didn't have a good day. And although Morley describes Saunders as being a bit disappointed, that's less money for the gate, with no cup win, that's important if you're going to get the right players in to make a difference, competing. Evans actually discussed Saunders being quite calm and said that he's the master of keeping an equilibrium, never going too low, never going too high. I think I mentioned that in the previous pod. So,
just on that, I mean, I wonder how, if we were to fast forward that game situation, or just fast forward social media rewind like social media, and put it back in 1981 at this stage, October 1981, would Saunders out be trending? I wonder.
Well, yeah,
I mean, it's gone through a little dip, and I know our social media is all reactive, and it's all very much a case of, oh, we've lost, we must be horrendous, we must be awful, get rid of the manager, get rid of this and that, you know. But to lose to Cambridge, that's
when you're
poor.
a team and with the same manager that has won the League Cup twice already in his stint, 75, 77, and you're there thinking, well, a couple of years in between, we're ready to go on the cup run. I mean, fans aren't to know that we're going to go ahead and win the league.
No,
so
not at this point.
You can imagine they'd react, and it would be frustrating. And especially when you look at the league table, it doesn't look overly impressive at the moment, but it is early days, and it can change so quickly. It certainly could at the time. You didn't have Man City and Liverpool dominating a league the way they do now the last 2-3 seasons. That's insane. You can't predict that. All you can do is play, the hand you dealt. But I think when people are so desperate, I think Villa fans, it's been such a long time, and even then, back to our early dominance with George Ramsey, it had been so long. People were craving and the big push. You had people, United, Ipswich, Everton, Liverpool, Wolverhampton, West Brom. Everyone's had their little time, won some cups. And that said, I mean, I suppose maybe we've been satiated, had the League Cup, but still haven't won the FA Cup since '57. Now, and that's the big one.
Yeah.
So therefore you're thinking, well, and I know we don't really cover the FA Cup in this pod. I don't have that information to hand. I could find it, but it's not there in that I've been following. And so you're just there, they say lamenting, like, oh, are you kidding?
I know. A lot of the old boys at the Villa where I mean, the ones that sit in front of us are a lot older, a much older generation to me, and that's the only cup they have not seen Villa win, and that's that great. So every time we go out, and I remember Bruce putting out an interesting team against Peterborough at home in the third round. And I know we have obviously bigger fish to fry getting back in the Premier League, but it grates me. But especially with League Cup games as well, it grates me when we don't put out a team. You want to rotate, you want to give everyone an opportunity, but ultimately you've got to get through, especially against, no disrespect, at the same time disrespect them, but especially at the same time as Cambridge. But we draw a line under that. Yeah, let's go. I mean, we're out the cup. Everyone's doom and gloom.
If anyone spoke to me, I'd say, look, I know I'm no expert, but I've played a lot of FIFA.
Yeah.
And what that's taught me is you don't make wholesale changes.
Yeah.
You just make a couple of changes. Swapping your left back isn't change the whole team, but it gives someone else a game. It gives a bit of a rest to somebody, and it means then that you can keep your steam going. That's what top clubs do now. They constantly, and to be fair, Ferg used to do it back in the day.
It does help when their left back is like an international somewhere else.
Okay, but now they let Zinchenko go, and they can't get Cucurella, and now they are stuffed with the Jacksy. This is what happens. I think
City will be alright.
I think so. Yeah. Bring Mendy back also given.
Who we got next? We can't talk about.
Game 8 in the league is against Crystal Palace away. Saturday, the 27th of September 1980, with an attendance a pitiful 18,398
at Selhurst. One of the most. I mean, it gets a lot of rep because of the ultras behind the goal nowadays, and everyone really they love Palace fans for the atmosphere, and don't get me wrong, it's good. It's it can get a bit lively.
Yeah,
but depending on where you are on the away end, it's the worst ground. People hearing will know exactly what I'm on about. If you're one of the back 5 rows of the away end, no chance. You're either
seen anything
bending down because there's a massive press gantry in front of you that covers
Yeah.
up half the pitch. Okay, and obviously if you bend down too much, there's people in front of you standing up, so you can't see it. You can't see a thing. So yeah, on
Naff away day.
both occasions I've been to Palace. Yeah, but I'll
No
look back
stars,
on,
would not
couldn't see
recommend.
anything. I'd give it a 1. But, well, I'll tell you what. If you're anywhere in front of those back 5 rows or back 3 rows, I think it is, you're laughing.
Right.
Because you can see everything. You've got a few pillars to contend with, but yeah, it's an interesting one. It's an interesting one.
Okay.
Score me. Well,
Go on then.
how do we get
So,
on?
I've got a bit more prelude here.
Of course you have.
I've done my research.
Of course. While you're preluding, I'm gonna
Okay.
have another go at this. Go on.
Right, just for the listeners,
Yeah.
he's going for a pint to get. Make sure it's kissing it. Kissing
There.
it.
There.
No,
There.
more horizontal.
Right, yeah.
He's trying to pour a pint.
Full whack.
Full whack. Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
keep it like that.
Yeah.
Wait,
Prelude. Go on.
Okay.
Go on.
So we go up against Terry Venables' Crystal Palace. Only took us a little bit of time. You're shaking it all
Terry
over.
Venables, Terry Venables, go on, Terry Venables.
Slowly.
Yeah.
Who actually done a good job over a couple of seasons. They were promoted from the third tier, in 1977. Then they were Division 2 champions in 1979, so not long after, and then came up to the top flight and finished 13th in the 1979-1980 season, so the season before.
Which is a good effort. And I think that's
As
good
is
effort.
that pint.
Yeah.
I'll give you
Does
that.
this stop humming a minute? Oh, here we
Yeah,
are. We're good.
yeah.
We're back on.
Right.
So Terry Venables.
I hope everyone heard it.
I'm sure they. Yeah.
the
I'm sure.
hum
You know.
drum.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like you're hoovering whilst I'm trying to...
It-
It's like, Mum, pack it in!
I've not
What was
hoovered.
that, son? I'm trying to play PlayStation and talking to my mate on the headset. I can't hear
I've
him.
done enough hoovering for about 2 days now. Yeah.
Yeah. That was
Right.
a rug pull. So
It-
Terry Venables, anyway, he's
Go on.
done a serious job here.
Mate,
Over a few
he's
years.
got one of the biggest reps
Yeah.
at Elto. Every single former player, absolutely, they chant high heaven about him, both tactically, but also in man management. And I know that,
Yeah.
you know, if we did a pod about Euro '96, like that's one of the best times as just an international
Yeah.
football fan for me personally. Probably not so much for yourself. Being
You
from
go to the
the Emerald
Irish
Isle there.
Yeah, but they were doing USA 94, so that's fine. We'll come
True.
back. So, actually, I've already told you about that. So my dad's cousin scored the goal.
Yes,
They
he
got,
did.
They got us through to the USA 94.
He
Yeah,
did.
Alan McLaughlin.
Alan McLaughlin.
Lost him a couple of years ago, so just a little side thing there. Google him, Alan McLaughlin. Came up through the ranks of Man United. I think mostly made his name at Portsmouth, actually. Maybe Swindon, down that sort of
Wasn't
way.
it an absolute pinger as well? Absolutely smashed it.
Yeah,
Or like
yeah. It was
completely-
a dark, horrible, like Irish weather day.
And it was Republic of Ireland v
Northern Ireland.
So I call that the Balaclava Derby, but you can't say that anymore.
Probably not.
Probably not,
No.
no.
Not
But-
since Good Friday.
yeah.
It's all good now.
Well, it
Um,
was until this Trussell
it's-
starts. This is not political.
yeah.
It's not.
Yeah, it's
political.
not going
Let's go, move on. So
So
Alan McLaughlin.
have a look. You can
Boom.
find the goal on YouTube, and it's the goal that got us through, as it were, because you had the draw.
Is that
I mean-
your cousin, uncle?
So it's my dad's cousin. So
Dad's cousin,
that's
okay.
first cousin once removed, is it, or second cousin, one of them?
Yeah.
Either which way,
Yeah.
related. Shaw is reinstated to the starting lineup, replacing Geddes after that loss. And Venables, as I say, has a team who have been on a steep incline of improvement, but they would go on to have financial struggles. So even though they got up to the top flight, financially they would struggle in years.
The standard, like, we're up, we've got to spend to try and stay here. And then... when it
And
goes
improve.
wrong-
I think it's things like stadium improvement. You should think about this, but you've got to have a stadium of a certain quality to sustain yourself up there. So when you have got teams like Brentford who've just come up, they've got a new stadium. That's a
Yes.
necessity for some, because otherwise they're not going to be able to go into the Premier League because not to a standard. So
Yeah.
you got that money. Okay, we could buy that one player who takes the next level. There's no point if our stadium's up to speed. So there's these choices I suppose you have to make as an owner. But it's a very simple game in terms of what we've got to cover because we have no footage. And
footage.
there's a single goal scored in the 86th minute
Yes.
by returning Gary Shaw.
Oh, scenes.
Yeah.
Got 1-0 win, Gary Shaw.
We'll take that back to winning ways.
Boom.
Wiping the taste of Cambridge out of our mouths.
Yeah.
Back in the league. Back with 2 points, as it was. To
Keep
push
forgetting
on.
that, yeah. 2
Yeah,
points.
yeah, it's nothing.
Oh,
It's
that's
measly.
It's crazy. But, yeah, again, what, like, title winning challenges, I'm sure that they're built from 1-0 wins away from home. You know, you can go away and smash someone 3 or 4 5, but the true test of grit and character comes through. There's no better result in football.
Do you know what we
than
should
a 1-0
do,
win.
on a serious
It's
note?
glorious.
Is we should try and get in touch with an Ipswich fan who was a fan at the time,
I did
and
call
talked
it weird a couple of pods ago.
He
didn't
did.
I? Yeah.
But no, it'd
that's
be
not
banter
gonna-
now. We'll dismiss it as banter.
Yeah. Okay.
Get someone on who knows what they're
Boys.
talking about.
Yeah.
We'll talk to them and say, look, right, how was it at the time? I know they felt a bit cheated on that last day. Again, spoilers. We'll come back to this. Last day, it was still tight. So they've got a massive goal difference ahead of us. Right, there's several goals in it. So they are the more free scoring team. They do go on to win the UEFA Cup and things like that. They were the stronger team generally. It was up and down, I suppose, with ourselves. But our goal difference is like 2. Because like eke out 1-0 wins. Very Ron Saunders. Functional, workman-like, solid. And that is enough. But that's not the same as running away with it. It's boring for everyone. Right. It's more interesting, exciting for us to cover.
Yeah.
But again, it's funny that we had that 1 year of winning the European Cup, because you're just about, it's hard work, and how long can you sustain that?
The only relative modern example, and it's not really that modern, was the 95-96. The great entertainers, Newcastle United, Asprilla,
yes.
Ferdinand, and then Shearer went over in the next year, the 96-97 season.
Yeah.
And like Ginola, like incredible talents, but you just couldn't defend.
No,
I mean, they it's similar actually. They had a good sort of 12-point. It might be even more actually. Lead over Man United, but United had Schmeichel, Bruce, Palace,
and Naus,
and they just they just churned out those gutsy away performances. And even though we're still in October here, Palace away,
end of September. This is.
You're looking at, and you say they just came up.
Yeah. I mean, no, sorry, this is the second season.
Yeah,
so they finished, They came up, finished 13th.
That second season, they're still strong. They're still buzzing to be in the top division again. It's and again, Palace away is always going to be difficult.
Yeah,
always going to be.
Yeah, say Venables had them well trained, well drilled.
Boom.
So
rock and roll.
Moving on.
Footage. We finally got some footage.
Gaming footage.
I can see some stuff.
This has got us very excited. What we're going to do, ladies and gents, is we are going to actually watch through the footage of the Sunderland games. As Af gets that set up, we're going to watch it. You'll be able to hear us watching it. You'll hear some of the footage and the commentary probably. Again, available on YouTube. Thanks for this. You can get it yourselves. You buy the season review from 1980-1981. We played at home on Saturday the 4th of October with an attendance of 26,914. Sunderland coming into this in 77, finished 20th, and so were relegated from the First Division. 77-78, they finished 6th in Second Division. 78-79, they finished 4th. And 79-80, the season before, they finished 2nd and got automatic promotion. And so they're back in the big leagues. But that means, of course, they've been away for a while. They've probably got the same strength in depth and quality of player as we get to take them on, which I think will become apparent when you hear the score, if you don't already know.
No, just on a personal point, while it's all buffering and stuff.
Yeah.
So Sunderland's actually my late dad. That was his team.
Oh yeah.
That was his team. And in fact, I talked about that anecdote about me getting a shirt. I might have mentioned it, actually. I think originally I was only 3 or 4 years old, and so I didn't really know what I was on about. And I said to him, "Look, can I get a Sunderland shirt?" And obviously, in the Midlands, I ain't gonna get a Sunderland shirt. Like, you got
back in the day,
yeah,
so
there was no such thing as JJB Sports or Sports
JJB?
Direct. They're not around anymore.
They're not around, are they?
Sports
Well,
Direct,
Wigan,
that's what I mean.
just gone.
Nothing like that.
Yeah.
So it was a case of, here's a football shirt, lad, and he made the best decision he ever made, because that made me a Villa fan,
And here we are today.
Here we are. Right, should we crack the volume up a little bit?
Yeah, so you can listen along.
I've already seen the spoilers of the scores. So if I'll crank up the volume, here we go. Oh, so corner whipped in. We're attacking the north stand first off, which is always...
Zach Mortimer stops it there, pings it out to the left.
That's a hell of a ping. Volley! Oh my days!
Yes, left foot. That with... Alan Evans!
Alan Evans. Right, so...
They've all got big hair, it's hard to tell who's who.
Just to try and summarise what's going on... Well, actually, I've just realised I'm talking over Barry Davies. So I'm going to be silent now, because Barry Davies is God.
Should we talk after?
Credit to Mortimer for the ball that went out to the left in the first place, and when it came across, Evans gave Chris Turner no opportunity at all. So the goal...
Barry Davies, absolute genius. So, crossed in, and then he's sort of...
half sliced downwards.
It's like a volley into the far corner.
Oh, no way that should go in.
Well, so I think the second half now. Attacking the whole end. We've got a free kick. Who's
So Tony Morley scores this one.
I can only assume it's to a deflection here because the keeper's just kind of jumped out of the way of it.
So
no, it's right. Someone check his bank account because I think there's been fixing going on there. So 2-0 up. Ball out to.
Yeah, so a free kick was laid off. Morley's basically just floated it over. Oh, sorry, here we are. Third goal now. Oh, crossbar.
So the woodwork
Cowans
is working.
No Morley again.
Yeah. So again, just causing terror on the left hand side.
Cutting in for the left, yeah.
Look at the Duvally stand. Well, sorry, Whit Lane stand.
Yeah.
It's just a shed.
It's mad, isn't it? The old Trinity. Dancing in the wing. Is that Brenda?
Hooked in again.
Head.
Oh! Just slightly above him. Probably should do better there.
Yeah.
DC with the cross.
Yeah.
And I'm not even sure who headed that. Is it?
Oh, he's hacked in there.
Is he like? Oh my! Right. This.
Pause it.
Okay.
Yeah, pause it
We are
a bit.
pausing there because
Right.
we need to talk about. So, right, go on the Villa Boy footage. Villa Boy footage. Okay, and then it's obviously Aston Villa Sunderland. 4th of October. You're right, mate. Just gonna
yeah.
4th of October 1980. Okay, so we're rocking at the 2 minute.
17.
2 minute
Oh,
5
okay.
seconds.
Okay.
2 minute 5 seconds. Okay.
You watch it again?
Let's try and. Can
So-
you play it on different speeds? Just to
You
try.
can. I mean,
I don't know if you
don't
can.
mess with it now.
No. Okay. So I'll try and play it and try and explain what's going on there. Overhit pass through. And
Shaw's batting the defender, but from behind, just basically tackles him, takes him out.
my
Keeper's also down.
God! Right, the
Take a
defender's
shot anyway.
Defender's dead. Peter With has killed the defender, and he's shaking his head. He thinks he's harshly done by. And they've got a corner.
That's the 80s for you.
Right,
Yeah,
he's not
because
giving a
they
free
kicked
kick. He's not giving a free kick.
Right, the replay.
Oh my God.
From the goalkeeper and Elliott. When he thought he'd done all that was needed, there was Whitworth to turn it off the line.
Right.
Professional foul.
So absolutely smashed the keeper.
Again,
and,
crossed in from the left. And again, head.
Good.
Oh.
Okay. I still can't over the previous clip. So Peter Withers absolutely smashed the defender into the keeper. The ball's bobbled out.
But the size
I
of
didn't
the ball
see you
goes,
trying to
isn't it?
tap it in. An empty net and it was cleared off the line. He looks upset.
Here's Bremner.
Oh my days.
Overhit that.
Toblerone boots.
By
Mortimer. Looking a lot like Jesus right there.
Yeah, rocking the beard.
Yeah.
He's always got to go to a beard sometimes.
Yeah. Have that all the Che Guevara sort of vibes, isn't it?
Yeah, true. Jay, his grandmother was Irish.
Oh.
Yeah, that's where he got his revolutionary streak from.
Right.
Well,
Okay. So the third goal, coming from the right hand side, just on the Trinity Road, cut back to Cowans, I think it was, who's just. And we talked about him having so much time. I mean, he just took a touch, defender slid in, glorious set of Gary Shaw,
Yeah.
who is punt like.
Yeah.
He's not hit it very clean, just scuffed it into the net.
Yeah.
This keeper's having a shocker, I tell you. And I mean, I'm a keeper as well, so I mean,
Cheek it out for the
okay,
corner.
and
And 11
right on cue. Apparently, a keeper jumping with hands is not as big as Alan Evans' bonds.
So two fellas at the corner, laid off. Alan Evans beats the
So,
keeper.
and that's the four. And I don't
That's
think
the
there's any
four.
other highlights.
Gibson comes off for DC.
Oh, there are some more highlights. Hang on a minute.
Oh, that's sloppy. So
Right.
Sunderland defender slips over. Ball goes to Wid.
He's
Goes
still
out to
going
Shaw.
He's still
Defending
going
Wid, still going. He's still going. He shoots. Oh, Gibb saves this. Has to jump back
Right,
onto
this
it.
could have been
Right,
10. It should have been
Possibly.
10.
You've launched there from 5 to 10.
There's a bookmaker
literally
up
doubled.
in the northeast that is like.
Oh, you don't take the mickey.
I mean-
Wait, I've got loads of money to make. I've got kids to feed. What's a
he's-
few goals?
Oh, so there's
Oh,
a
he's got
chance.
around the keeper. Oh, last minute defending there. Who's
So
that?
that is the first highlight we've got of Sunderland having a chance, and it was.
So knock it.
It's almost like the
Round
Ronnie
Rimmer.
Rosenthal one from '92.
It's about
Uh,
a front of
he's gone around the he's gone around Rimmer
face a goal.
and
Sunderland
fortunately-
corner. So they must have been going for it because that was Alan Evans' goal was in the 84th minute. So all this is in the final 10.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay.
There must have been a lot of stuff
Corner
going on. there.
saved. They're going to run. Shaw there. Loses it to the defender. Trying to get past him.
Okay,
He's back to the keeper. Plenty of space there in the Sunderland
what's he
half.
doing? Again, no pat pass rule, which is fine. Picked it up. Footage of Ron Saunders looking glum.
Look, well, for him, happy.
Well, yeah,
That's his happy face.
very much.
Satisfied.
Mm.
nuts.
Oh, look at that tracking back.
Oh, workhorse.
I think it was Cowans again. Is it? Pretty sure it was Cowans that sort of ran all the way back. Now that's your number 10 flair player running back. Full time, 4-0. Shake your hands. Get yourself to that bookmakers up in Sunderland. Keeper gets a massive bung.
Is that what you know?
Boom. So Evans with 2, Morley and Shaw completes the 4. Sunderland probably should have scored at the end there when he ran to the keeper.
Yeah, but again, he's there. He's probably knackered himself out just getting around him. So he's just kicked it. And I say it's going across the front of goal. It's probably going to go out anyway. It probably isn't going in.
And I think psychologically as well, seeing your keeper. I mean, I'm not saying he's at fault for the goals, but the phrase is could have done better.
Yeah.
Could have done better.
Good
with
job.
at least 4 of them, really.
Yeah. just the 4 goals.
Yeah, just the 4.
Out of a possible 10.
Mate, it should have been 10.
But what this reminds me of, and again, I keep going back to his O'Neill days, like Derby,
Yes.
and who else we beat?
We had a few
time.
thumpings.
There's a few in a row. Like, that's nice.
I think we thumped. I think it was. Oh, hang on. Was it Wigan?
I want to say Wigan as well.
There was a Wigan
Derby,
game.
Wigan.
Oh no, Burnley. There was Burnley just before the cup final, and we won 5-2. And I think even Carlos Quayer scored.
Wasn't it
5-2?
5-2 wasn't that Blackburn? In the cup.
There was 6-4.
6-4, that was it.
Which
that
was
I
needed an abacus.
And again, technically, they were a man down, so like we weren't amazing.
No.
We had to fight for everything.
It was mad. Is that the final game of this episode then?
No, we've got one more.
Got what?
more.
Sings?
Yeah. No footage.
Always the same.
But you know what, it breaks it, makes it interesting.
It does.
And otherwise, the podcast's gone too long. We've got things to do.
I was going to say, what are we on now? What are we on about now?
So, we've got Manchester United now away at Old Trafford. Wednesday the 8th of October, so a midweek game, and yet the attendance is 38,831, which is much larger than any of the Villa attendances I've mentioned, I think, so far in this season's podcast. DC again starts at left back, and we're playing a Manchester United side who, again, had their, to them, fairly recent historical successes. So, in 1958, of course, unfortunately, there was the Munich air disaster. But 10 years later, in 68, they win their first European Cup. When we get to them, in 77, they won the FA Cup. 78, they finished 10th. 79, they finished 9th. But in the year before, they finished 2nd. Now, they were being managed by Sexton, I think it was at the time. No one big in terms of names. But rather, the only player of note in their lineup was Steve Coppell, who would retire early and go into managing.
The only knowledge I have of Steve Coppell, getting into football, was when my dad got 101 great goals on the VHS.
Oh yeah,
101 great goals, and he was always on there. He was Steve Coppell, and he was always sort of pinging volleys from left, right, centre. So that's the only anecdote I got about him.
Nice. Someone should do that. They do the Premier League years, and they before, like just generally that'd be hard to pick.
Yeah.
And so the quality of the footage. It's a bit like if I try and show a film to the wife, if it's black and white, or if it's dated in some way, I'm not watching that.
Yeah.
No, not interested. But anyway, so we play them at Old Trafford.
Yeah.
And it's a draw. It's 3-3.
Blooming hell.
Yeah.
How's there no footage of this?
Because it didn't make the cut.
3-3.
Have a quick look.
You have to read to me. Go on.
But there are admirable draws.
Read from the book of
described
wisdom.
in the book. So in terms of the book, the scorers were with
Standard.
Cowans with a penalty.
Nice.
And Gary Shaw.
Super Gary Shaw.
Yeah.
Right. Is this any United ones or just the Villa?
Well, in the book, it only mentions the Villa
okay.
ones. Plus, like I say, the only person I recognised in the Man U starting lineup was Coppell. So that was it.
What
so,
a game.
I mean, I haven't got the timings there either in that one. I forgot to write those down. It's not like me.
I was going to say, I mean, Old Trafford has been. I still have not seen Villa win, beat United in the flesh. Apart from in the under-21s, like in a youth game, and I'll count that because it's the only joy I've got. There was one period of years at Old Trafford where I went to about two or three in a row at Old Trafford.
Yeah.
And the one that I missed was the last one I went to was the Makeda one, the last minute Makeda, and I was in such a state and dazed and confused. I even walked all the way back from Old Trafford, back to the city centre. It was about 2 miles away.
Birmingham City Centre from Old
No,
Trafford.
Anyway, so walked back in a daze, right back to Manchester, and I just said to my mate, I was like, I can't do it, never again. I can't do this. I can't do this to myself. And of course, the next year, Gabby 1-0.
Yeah.
And I'm watching at home on, I think it was ESPN at the time.
Did you see that clip? Gary put, I think it was on Instagram, when he was up in the hotel, Gary Neville's hotel in Manchester, and left a little slip for him. And it referenced the 1-0 win.
Did it?
So it must be something that Gary Neville does. Best like Manchester United or Old Trafford memories. And for Gabby, it was the 1-0.
And as well you might. And to be fair, we've played them, twice last year. Oh no, we lost them in the cup. I was going to say we've not lost them for ages. But we drew them in the pre-season. Beat them last year at Old Trafford. And then drew at Villa Park, which is absolutely a storm. Coutinho's debut. That was intense. But yeah. So have we got a player of the? I say player of the month. Is it even a month? Have we even got to October yet?
We got to October. So technically, last one was August. This would be September.
Yeah.
I want to say Alan Evans. I think to score 2 in a game. And to show that dominance in the air, I think it's hard. I suppose we've had losses in there. Morley again, it still comes up. Shaw is consistent. Then Geddes came in, got goals.
But then some people might hey, he kept him in for Cambridge and he let us down. Well, he might not let us down,
but DC came back in again. He was pinging those balls across.
Yeah, he did. He had a couple I've just seen. Yeah, it was really good. For me, my man of the moment has to be Peter With for trying to decapitate. Well, it's not decapitate, is it?
He's hacked him down. Just we're trying to go through 2 men.
He's trying to commit. He's trying to conduct some sort of surgery on the field where you chop someone in half with the size 10 or 11 or whatever boots he's got. So he'll be my man of the moment for that.
Okay. So we'll share it with and Evans.
With Ant Evans.
So that's takes us into October. We are 10 games into the league season, and so in terms of the league table at this point after that game, Ipswich are still top, having played 9 games, whereas the rest of the top 6 have played 10. They've got a goal difference of 13 with 16 points. Aston Villa are 4th, having played 10 games with a goal difference of 6, so half the goal difference, and 14 points. So only 2 points off. That goal difference kind of suggests, with a game as well extra played, that we really aren't necessarily as strong as Ipswich at this point, or the games we've played at this point don't show us being as strong.
At this stage, though, as a Villa fan, through 2022 goggles, you see Villa top 4, you think, that's pretty good. But even at this stage of the season, that's what you're thinking. I know there's a lot to happen. Yeah. You're probably not thinking we're in a title race.
Not a title race necessarily, but you think, okay, we're up there. Yeah. You're thinking, that said, I mean, the top 4 is only top 4 because of the European places.
True. At this stage,
at this point, it's all UEFA Cup, isn't it? You said the UEFA Cup.
Yeah.
But you have to finish second or win a cup.
To win a cup,
therefore, you've only got those couple of avenues. So you are champion or you're not. So it's Champions League is a ridiculous name. We've got off European Cup now. Generally, European teams play it, whereas before Champions League.
And round off the top 6 ahead of Sandwell Town.
So
Sandwell Town in 5th, and United in 6th.
I didn't mention the fact that Liverpool was 2nd, Everton were 3rd.
So Scouts at this stage were
Merseyside sandwich.
They were. The 80s is pretty much.
It was their story, really, in a lot of ways.
And 1 year.
Ipswich,
2 really.
Yeah, Ipswich and Villa sort of interrupting. Popping up.
At the bottom, who do we say was at the bottom? Norwich,
Palace, Man City. At the bottom 3 at the moment.
Struggle still for them.
Can't remember who off the top of my head now. Whoever was bottom, but they only had 2 points. So it really is looking dire there. But it's interesting, isn't it? So maybe we'll keep tabs on the bottom 3 as well.
Maybe a little relegation insight.
But that'll be it for now.
Yeah.
From us, we'll call it a night there, and then we'll come back with some more. So thanks for your time, Af.
Mate, pleasure as always. Can't wait for the next one. And up the Villa.
Up the Villa. Up yours. You have been listening to the How Aston Villa Won podcast. Remember to subscribe and follow us on Twitter and Instagram.